Game Design with Reilly is hosting a game jam of sorts. If you're unfamiliar with Game Design with Reilly, he is a YouTuber who makes some pretty good construct videos. I really dig a lot of his content. It's super helpful, and I even used one of his videos recently to help me out with my game for the Let's Talk Game Design, Let's Talk Game Jam. So I do just want to shout him out real quick. It's a great channel. I'll put his link in the description. If you have any problems with construct, check it out. Now let's get on with the jam.
Theme is going to be 2 objects only.
That is absolutely mortifying. That means this bar over here can only have 2 objects, and I went with a sprite and the touch thing. Going into this, I had no ideas for what kind of game I would be playing. I just know that there would be an object and you would have to touch it. So first thing I did was give the background some color. I knew I wouldn't be able to add a background to it, and the stock background doesn't count as an object. So I made this nice little navy bluish backdrop and added the touch, and half of the game is done now. Then I spent a few hours making this beautiful, intricate sprite. By golly, would you just look at the beauty of this thing. Now that the game was pretty much done, I just had to add some polish. And by polish, I mean figure out what the game was even going to be. Construct is mocking me. Weirdly enough, though, the first thing I did was add screen shake. I didn't know what this game was going to be, but I knew it was going to have some juice. I decided on a falling objects game similar to my 1 hour game that I'd made, except there wasn't going to be a basket to catch it. You just kind of had to tap the screen to catch the falling objects. If you haven't seen that video, you should probably go check it out. In hindsight, just tapping the objects makes it way too easy, but I didn't really just want to make the same game again. That would be lame. So I decided to check out the falling object, and it didn't work in the least bit. Keep trying different things and it not working over and over again. So eventually I just disabled the screen shake. I do bring it back eventually, and I don't even remember how I get it working, but yeah, I had to get rid of it for a while. So I make 3 different falling object types: a blue one, a red one, and a green one. And I can hear everyone asking, but listener, how on earth did you have 3 objects if you're only allowed 2 objects and one of them's already touch? Well, first off, call me Mr. Games. And second off, with a little thing we in the biz call animations. Each event has an additional condition that will only allow whatever I want to happen if you're on the animation that I want it to happen on. With all that boring scientific mumbo jumbo out of the way, let's watch these pretty colors fall. Isn't that lovely? So I wanted it to where the game would speed up every time that you hit the blue thing. You would get hurt if you hit the red thing, and you would gain back health if you hit the green thing. So here it is in action. There's the blue thing, it goes away, and now look at that. It is slightly faster. Everyone can sell their gaming consoles and PCs now, because this is the game to end all games right here. With all the main mechanics out of the way, I began work on the health bar. And I thought that was actually going to be kind of tricky, but it was pretty easy. It's funny as I accidentally segmented it. I didn't really know what I was going for here, but I kept trying to make this box, just a rectangular box, and I accidentally just made it 3 segments of a health bar. So that worked. But yeah, so I figured you have 3 healths, and once you tapped one of the red pieces, you would lose one of the healths. If you tapped one of the green pieces, you would gain it back. And so the way that I got this to actually work was pretty simple. I created its own layer. I just called it the UI layer. And if a sprite exists on this layer, it's going to be the health bar. If the sprite exists on the layer and your health is at 3, it's going to be health bar 3. If your health's 2, it's 2. So on and so forth, all the way down to 1. Oh yeah, this is another pretty smart but simple thing I did was I gave the sprites the destroy outside of layout behavior. I mean, it's pretty obvious to do that, but normally I make a separate sprite called the destroyer that I use in any game that's going to be infinitely scrolling to destroy things that go outside of it. Now let's see this bad boy in action. Perfect. fix that, I made it where if the sprite is on layer 2, which is the UI layer, it would not move. It would be permanently set at the position it's at. I don't remember what it was. Absolutely astonishing.
Safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
I love this guy who instinctively goes for a high five and then realizes he can't, so he just kind of like shrugs it off. Now that we've quite possibly created the greatest game ever made with only 2 objects, we'll find out Sunday. Fingers crossed, everybody. It was still missing something. And I know that I can't add in audio at this point because that would count as a 3rd object, and that would be absolutely ludicrous. I went ahead and updated the art for my sprites. You got the ball, the spikes, which don't really look right, but they're pretty cool, and the potion, which I like that. It's nice. And I made this menu, which you might be like, oh, that looks pretty boring. But don't you look stupid. Yeah. Egg on your face, am I right? Look at my son. My beautiful, beautiful, bouncing baby boy of a game. I did notice that as you progress, it got a lot harder to hit the sprite. And so I just adjusted the hitbox. Just made the area around the sprite bigger and moved the hitbox out. And I did that for the other 2 animations as well. Because some developers know how to test for bugs before releasing their games. Just saying. Well, if y'all have had as much fun as I've had, then maybe you should check out one of these other videos. And I'll see y'all over there. Bye.